What's up YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my build for Corvas Prime on Warframe. So if you want to see more content like this, please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Please remember to hit that like button because it's really important for the algorithm. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell to be notified of all uploads and live streams, and don't forget to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description below. Let's get into the video. Alright, so Corvas Prime released recently. Now Corvus was always a weapon in the game, but Corvas Prime is the Prime version, and it is really strong. This is also a different kind of Steel Path viable build as well, because this is going to be a zero Forma build. So I have not put a single Forma into this. I slapped my build on, been testing it, altering it, and this is the build I've come up with. Zero Formas that works really well on the Steel Path. So let's jump in. So we're running Polar Magazine for 120% cold. We're running Prime Rubido Line Barrel for 187% plus damage. We've got Venomous Clip for 120% toxin. We have Charged Bullets for 50% electricity and 60% status chance. We have Dual Rounds for 60% multi-shot. We have Hollow Bullets for 80% critical damage. We have Combustion Rounds for 120% plus heat. And we have Parallax Scope for 100% critical chance. So as you can probably gather, this is a critical weapon, and it has two kinds of shots because it's kind of like a shotgun, but I think it works a bit more like Opticore and Opticore Vandal, where you can either do a quick shot or a charge shot, and it does more based upon which shot you do. So the quick shot has 88% critical chance, 5.4% multiplier, 32% status, and then it does, at least my build will do 3,000 almost 4,000 radiation, almost 4,000 viral. And that takes it to 13,000, and then with the charge shot, there's over 100% critical chance, so it will always crit on a charge. With the same multiplier, a little bit higher status, and it does 22,000 total damage. Now, this weapon has base heat built in, so what I did was I put viral on, and then I added in electricity to add to radiation. So radiation viral is always a good combo, because 1, radiation helps to take down shields. 2, radiation also turns enemies on other enemies, so if you don't get the kill, you will at least turn it against the other enemies. And of course viral is always good because viral attacks health, so it's a really good status to proc. Now, I'm going to be using Necros Prime on Steel Path for this because Necros, with his abilities, he's able to pick up more heavy ammo, and this thing does not have a lot of ammo. So let's jump in and I'll show you what we can do. Alright, so we're on Oxymoko on the Steel Path, and I need to sort them out, and it would probably help. There we go. So we're on Oxymoko on the Steel Path, and this is going to be where I test, well, this is where I test all of my Steel Path viable builds, because it's just the best place for me. It's, you know, Steel Path in the void, so you have all kinds of enemies here. Now my Necros build is very good for this because Necros, like I said, will pick up heavy ammo as part of his pickup set with the spoil. And then of course with stuff like Shadows of the Dead, it also helps protect him heavily, but as you can see, this weapon does work. It is powerful. It is not a weak weapon. Like, I farmed this thing last night. I literally thought I was going to Forma it originally because there were a couple of other mods I wanted to add, but I wanted to do a zero Forma build first because this zero Forma build does work. Like, it is insanely impressive for zero Forma. Now, a lot of the time, a lot of weapons, you can't just do zero Forma because, especially for Steel Path, because like zero Forma builds are very specific builds, and a lot of the time I've found myself they don't work on the Steel Path. But this weapon does. It is just super strong. Like, it is ridiculously strong. Mainly because it is a very high critical weapon, so it's just going to land crits continuously. And for anyone wondering how this works on Arcwing, it's a very powerful weapon on Arcwing, although I do prefer to use Imperator Vandal because of its better fire rate, and although the fire rate doesn't really impact on Arcwing missions because, well, by the time you've shot once or twice, the bullets have recharged, so it's not really a big deal. Like, this weapon really does do work. Let me just activate Shadows of the Dead again so I can get my clones. There we go, well, clones, but They help protect Necros on the Steel Path. If you want my Necros build, just leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll do a Necros build. I haven't done my Necros build yet. But he is 100% Steel Path viable, providing you're careful. Oh, no. Where? Not there. Well, these are mine. Okay. Right. But as you can see, it does work. If you're wondering how it works against the Acolyte, hopefully he spawns in pretty quickly. Because it would be good to show you. It does work against an Acolyte, it's just... Acolytes, of course, have really ridiculously high armor. I mean, what you could do if you have a problem with armored enemies, because heavy armored units and the Acolytes on Steel Path, this weapon does, well, this build does struggle a little bit, but I find the radiation helps for everything else, so it depends on what you want to go for. What I tend to do with heavy armored units, if we come across them, I'll show you. What I tend to do is I tend to blast them until they get to about half health and then do the mercy kill, which will then of course get rid of them. Ah, there we are. So this will be a good example. So if I can get it to half health, you know what I mean? It does struggle against these kinds of enemies. If you do charge shots, the damage isn't terrible, it's just, again, because they have such high armor, it's very difficult to get rid of them. But at the same time, just get it to about half health, wait for the mercy proc. There we go. And then just do the mercy. That's what I do with them with this weapon. I still love this build as a zero Forma build though. Again, just remember, this is not going to be the complete build. I'm going to do another video for the complete build at some point. Again, once I've worked out a build with Formas that's going to, you know, be a lot better than this. But as zero Forma builds go, it's definitely not bad. Like, you can easily bust this out on the Steel Path and be absolutely fine. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. So if you want to see more like this, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. It really helps with the algorithm. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to be notified of all uploads and live streams. And don't forget to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time.